Hello and welcome. Hello. Let's just do it. I've been sitting here wondering what I'm going to talk about. I'm like, let's just press record and talk. What's the problem with that? Hello. Welcome to what is this called again? Something about a bike part. The Rusty Headset Podcast. Welcome. My name is DJ Tie Dye. I will be your mentor this evening. I did like 6 months when I went to college. I did the radio station for a little bit, and I had so much fun. But the problem was, at the time, I wasn't into alternative music or anything that you would hear in a college station. I was just like so into like heavy metal and Iron Maiden and Metallica, and we did this thing called the Power Hour. That was our show. And I don't remember what the theme really was. I just remember my friend Lindsay, who was the main girl. She was always playing like, let's play peppier songs, and I'm like, let's play some Iron Maiden. Let's get some Slayer in there. And we definitely lost a lot of listeners that day. Could have been worse though. Anyways, how y'all doing? Man, I should just start calling this the Thankful Podcast. I'm thankful for a lot of things today. I'm thankful I don't have COVID. That's nice. I can't imagine how hard it is to have that. I'm thankful that there's money in the bank, gas in the tank. Happy about that. Shoot. Spent about 2 hours today just trying to figure out how I'm going to do the project for my car this weekend. Man, I tell you, like, you just got to get all the tools set up. You got to figure out what you need, how to do everything, if you need to go to the store. And I do need to go to the store because I need two 22 millimeter sockets. If you don't know what that is, it's almost an inch size socket. Yeah, there's some big bolts I got to take care of. But I'm thankful that I have, money in the bank to go do that and fix my car and take care of the things that I need to take care of so I can do awesome stuff. So, thankful for a lot of things today, ladies and gentlemen. It's really nice. It's interesting. You want to think about like all the people you're thankful for, and usually it's a positive, right? I mean, you want to be thankful for positive things, but sometimes you're thankful for the jerks in your life, God, like, I remember growing up, there were just so many kids that were, jerks to me, or whatever the case was. They pushed me around, or, exes that didn't treat you right, or ended up kind of two-facing you, or whatever the case may be. But, you got to be thankful for those people too, because you learn from them, unless they're still in your life, in which case, it's tough. But when they're not, you can reflect and hopefully become a better person because of it, and hope and pray that they're being better people too. But at the end of the day, man, I always tell like the students I teach, I'm always like, number one is always you. You got to look out for yourself first. And I know that may sound selfish, but I really do think there's some truth to, looking out for you first. Because if you can't look out for yourself and be comfortable with who you are and have that self-esteem, how are you going to be able to help out anybody else, right? So anyways, I don't know. I'm kind of on one this evening because it's just been a rough couple of days with the, bringing back everything. We're slow rolling into bringing the kids back to the school. So not that it's a negative. I worry, and it's been almost 6 months since I had a classroom full of kids. I mean, the last time I had a class full of kids was probably March 11th or March 12th. And I'm talking, 30 some odd kids in a room with just me, and I'm putting on the show. I mean, if you guys have ever seen teaching or remember those high school days, especially the ones that had to tell the story, not the math teachers, not the English teachers, the other kind, and not the ones that play with beakers. You know what I'm talking about. Those kinds of teachers. They got to tell the story. They got to put on the show. They got to make it fun, right? Otherwise, there's no chance in hell you're teaching 30, 17-year-olds about Christopher Columbus in an interesting way, or whatever the case may be, So anyways, I'll let you try to figure out what kind of teacher I am. I don't know, it's weird. I talked to a friend about it. I was like, how much information about myself do you think I should divulge? And he was like, nothing. Don't even tell him your name. Don't even tell him where you live. And I was like, well, then what's the point of me having a podcast? I got to talk about where I'm at, man. That's my perspective. That's my point of view. So anyways, but yeah, It's all right. I think that's why I like doing this so much. It's like I'm putting on a show, and everybody's listening. Nobody can nobody can talk back. Got a little bit of that today. It's all good. You love the kids, man. They got to flex that adult muscle once in a while. Anyways, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, bad people in history, bad people in your life. Man, it's tough. I go back and forth. Like, I have a lot of people that I think about a lot, or I have a specific group of people that I think about a lot, I should say. And it's not always positive. You think about exes, you think about old friends, or maybe bad family members. Let's stick with the negative for a sec here. You think of those people. And the sad truth with those people is, like, do they really mean what they do? I had a lot of people in my past, and people that I've done stuff to in the past too that I'm not proud of. And I think in the moment and at the time, whatever you say or whatever you do that's negative, it sounds right and it feels good. But I think, at least most normal people look deep down and they're like, man, that wasn't the right move. Even with your good friends that you're still good friends with, you mess up and you say something stupid, and they kind of look at you like, what? What'd you say that for? And you're like, I don't know what the heck I said that for. But you're too proud and you're too embarrassed that you don't want to be like, oh, my bad. Instead, you got to hold it and be like, yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I said. Yeah, yeah. And you kind of sound stupid. But the problem is like, you can't take it back, right? There's no takesies, backsies, and hurting somebody's feelings or making it feel like they're not worth anything. And I'm guilty of it too. I know some of y'all listening, and I know the moments that you guys were guilty of it, right? And most of y'all listening know those moments that you were guilty. But it's so tough because in the moment you feel like it's proper, you feel like it's the good thing, it's the right thing to do. Maybe not the good thing, but the right thing to do, like checking a friend, or saying, man, that girl you're with, she's bad news bears, right? 10 years later they're married, okay? And yes, that has happened to me. And it's weird, and it's just that situation where you don't know why you do the thing you do, but gosh, you're just too proud. You're just too proud to say, you know what, man, I messed up. And you can't just let go of that. You got to keep that internal thing of, no, I'm right all the time, and I'm always going to be right. Nobody can tell me differently. Man, I tell you, I've had a humble pie for breakfast, lunch, and dinner for the last 3 years. I mean, golly. When I was, that's probably 20, going on 21, a couple years ago. 3 months ago when I was 20, turning on 21. Man, it was hard. It was like, I was dating this girl, and man, we thought we were going to get married. We thought the whole deal, and obviously nothing serious was in play. But, you start dating somebody, you put those things in your head that we're going to be together forever. We're going to be best friends, and this whole deal. But then you look back, like, I look back now, like, her parents probably thought I was not all that in a bag of chips. Let's just put it nicely, and shoot, my parents probably met her once or twice. I was afraid to bring her around. Not because of her per se, but just because of the situation, what was going on. And I don't know, it just, in the moment you think like, man, me and this person got so much in common. You want to relate to everything with each other and say, man, boo, you and I, we're two peas in a pod, and we got this all figured out, and we're going to conquer the world. And for some of us, for everybody, I hope that's true. I want everybody to have that good relationship and that good support system, and, the beautiful girl and the handsome man that you call yours, and, sleeping together in the bed and waking up together and making breakfast and all that good stuff. But there comes a point where you realize, man, we got about 9 things in common. And after that, I don't know what to talk to you about, And I'm not saying that's true for all relationships. I'm not even saying that's true for any relationship. But what I do know in my past is that's what it always boiled down to was, regardless of what the person might have done or what you might have done to make the relationship fail, at the end of the day, you have a moment of clarity. And you either learn to forgive yourself or the person, whoever messed up, they got to be forgiven somehow. And you say to yourself, man, me and her didn't really have anything in common anyways. I didn't like, I don't know. I didn't like, at the time, she wanted to travel and go all over the world. And I was such a homebody. I tell you, I was getting fat and lazy and playing video games all day, not even trying to, excel in life. Really, I was a waste of space. And thank God for that breakup. I tell you, man, if she's listening out there, shouts out, man. It was a rough couple of years, and I think she watched me kind of divulge myself into this kind of homebody and playing video games and staying up all night and sleeping all day and waking up late for work and all those sad things that sometimes we're guilty of, but we don't want to do it every single day. And it just happened to me every single day at some point. Thank God she left. Like, she left with two middle fingers up and calling me fat and lazy, and it felt at the time it felt horrible, but now, yeah, I'm paraphrasing. She probably didn't say fat and lazy, but now I feel so thankful for what happened. I feel so thankful for that moment. And I feel thankful for all those moments of people who either leave you or make you feel kind of crappy because either A, that's not true, I'm a great person, or B, yeah, man, I was messing up. I was getting lazy. I was being mean. I wasn't taking care of her. I wasn't taking care of him, whatever. And I needed a check, and man, you got to be thankful for those. You got to be thankful for those moments. And I don't know why I bring this up today. I guess it's just on my mind, but I do remember, man, sitting in those dorms over at CSU. Shout out Rams, what up? And I'm being stupid, my bad. But sitting in that dorm and just reflecting on everything before we left for summer break, it was like, man, I got to get out of this funk. I got to get out of this, and it took a long time. It took about a year before I was ready to really start living my life the way I wanted to live. But I tell you, man, that year was a moment of growth, and I wouldn't trade anything for the world for it, because I know that year and that breakup and everything I learned from that brought me to who I am today. And I tell you guys, man, it is all about loving yourself. I love myself so much, and not to an egotistical point where I think I'm the greatest man there ever was, but just I'm so thankful to be the person that I am today, and I don't give credit to just me. I mean, y'all heard me talk about this whole breakup the last 5 minutes. I am so thankful for those people in my life that either checked me or led the way, and I'm surrounded by those people right now. I got plenty of people in my life that are showing me the way without even knowing that they're showing me the way, Shouts out to my coworkers, y'all know who you are. I mean, we got some good relationships going on, and for all the bad, I mean, I think the good really does outweigh it. And if it doesn't, you kind of know internally, everybody's kind of got that internal clock of it's time to leave. It's time to go. It's time to change. And I'm so thankful that, in my life, sure, yeah, I'm ready to make the next step and I'm ready to move and whatever. But in the same token, I can sit in this for at least another, year or two and be comfortable and enjoy where I'm at right now. So shouts out to everybody, man. I'm so thankful to everyone who's in my life right now and everybody who's been able to, be a part of this journey, because I tell you, it's been an interesting one to say the least. I mean, shoot, the life of Ty is a show. And I'm not saying it's the best show, but you'll be intrigued, all right? It's like when American Ninja Warrior first came out. Are they all going to fall in the water, or is everybody just going to do super well? What's it going to look like? What's it going to look like? So, somewhere in the middle, I'd like to think, Anyways. Man, I tell you, man, speaking of being thankful, man, I had a couple of friends who are helping me out with the whole next step thing, which is slow. I won't say it's happening anytime soon, but if you've been listening, you'll know that I recently started volunteer firefighting for a wildland division out here, and loving it. I mean, we haven't really been able to go on call as much because it's about to be October. So, but it is looking kind of promising that October is going to be a busy month, and if nothing else, man, I'm just there for the love and support, man. I mean, these guys are amazing. The guys that I spend my time with at the fire base are just great people. So shouts out to all y'all guys, man, especially Captain and the lieutenants who have been showing me the way. I'm so thankful for those guys, because, man, they've been through it. They've been through some stuff, not just even with the fire, but with life, and hopefully everybody has it. If you don't, man, I feel for you, but I always appreciated having that older role model, somebody who's been through what you're about to go through, somebody who's been through two kids and a divorce, or things that could potentially happen to me. And God forbid, I don't want to be divorced. I don't even know if I want kids at this point. But what I do know is, you can still be a good person even when those things happen. Not kids, but like, divorce and trials and tribulations. So I'm so thankful for that, because you see what people can do in their lifetime, and you see what they're capable of. And it's just so amazing to me that I could be surrounded by these men, and they'll consider me, maybe not their equal yet, because I'm a new guy, but they respect me just like I respect them. They respect me in their own special way, and that's right on, man. I mean, if you can have that in your life, I consider you a lucky person. Suerte, as they say in Spanish, and it's just so important for me to have that, because I feel like I've been such a wanderous soul, and at times a lost soul, and not being able to find the road that I wanted to go on. And man, I know there's been countless days of just, what am I doing? Where's my life going? I'm not financially stable. What is my life supposed to be? And man, I'm in my 20s now. I should have this and that, because so and so's got this and that. But it's not about that, man. It's not about how far you get in the amount of time. I think it's just being true with yourself. I really do wholeheartedly think that that's the truth of it all, is be true to yourself, man, and just be good to yourself. And I think there's a Journey song about that. But be good to yourself and love yourself, and just don't give up on the things that you care about. And I know every podcast ends with me getting preachy, but I strongly believe these things, and I feel so thankful for the people that have been able to show me what that looks like. So shouts out to them, and shout out to the Wildland crew. I love you guys so much, man. I'm so thankful you guys have been showing me the way, and I look forward to the next, however long I'm with you guys is going to be fantastic. So, excuse me, un momento. All right, let's end today with, I want to talk quickly about some biking stuff, because I'm kind of excited. So, girlfriend and I, we're taking a trip. We're going to go to Moab again. What's up, Moab? We were supposed to go to Sedona, which is in Arizona, which is basically like Moab plus, but it's a little harder to get to, and a little more difficult to navigate, we'll say. Moab is really nice for mountain bikers, in that there's like 4 spots that you go to, and you can ride the heck out of those 4 spots, and then you're good, right? We've gotten so much, like, we know where the camping is, we know where the good rides are, we know if the bike breaks down, we know exactly who to go to. We got this guy, right? We know where the good food is and everything. And Sedona was supposed to be like this new journey, and just thinking about it really reminds me of like when this all went down. When COVID started, that was like the day that COVID started was the day we were supposed to leave. When everything shut down and we were told to stay at home, I think was the day that we kind of had our bags packed, ready to go. And then everything got like, I don't know. Should we go? Should we not? And then as soon as, I think it was like March 16th is when that hit. That's going to be like the ground zero day, right? Like, we're going to have an anniversary of this day. Anyways, man, I don't want to get into that too much, but yeah, we didn't get to go, and it really broke our hearts. I mean, we've been adventure buddies for the last almost 2 years now, and everywhere we go, we find the best out of it. Even if it's, I only have this much money for this trip this year, and we got to rough it out a little bit and make some bologna sandwiches, or hey, we get to go to the nice hotel, and we're gonna spend almost every other night in a hotel, and do that kind of thing. We've always been able to make the best of it. So I'm really looking forward to going to Moab, because this is the first time in a long time that we've been able to do a multiple day trip. I mean, even during COVID, my lady and I have been blessed. I mean, blessed to the gills. We live in Colorado, for God's sakes. I mean, beauty and nature and some of those gorgeous views you'll ever see are within a 3-hour drive for us. And I'm not saying this to brag. I'm saying this again to be thankful, man. I mean, good golly, Miss Molly, y'all ever been to Crescent Butte? Goodness, man, we went there maybe like 2-3 weeks ago now. I had a buddy of mine who was his uncle's building a house out there, and we went and introduced ourselves, and I offered some hammer time for a little bit, not like MC Hammer, but actually swinging a hammer. I'm being stupid, I'm sorry. But it was incredible, and it was right before the tree started changing, so the weather was perfect, trail conditions were perfect. I mean, you're talking about, first of all, I'm a lucky man. I've got the dream bike. I was able to build it up last summer, and with COVID, prices were kind of down a little bit, and I could kind of finagle some things and work my street magic with Facebook Marketplace, and some other friends helping me out, some other family members. Shouts out to who. Thanks for helping out with those orders, buddy. I love you very much. But yeah, just being able to get all that together and have the bike that I really felt was right for me, and the affirmation when I first rode it that it fit properly and it was going to be the perfect bike for me. Man, I tell you, it's like having a bike is like having a project car. Building your own bike is like having a project car. And if you've never had something like that, essentially it's like this. It's like you start off with a shell, right? Or in my case, a frame. And with the frame, you got to throw parts on it for it to work, right? You got to buy the wheels, you got to buy the suspension, you got to get the brakes, you got to do this, you got to do that. And sometimes you have to sacrifice, right? You got to say, well, I've only got this much money, so let's do, XYZ instead of, ABC or whatever. Or I'm going to spend more money on this and less money on that, whatever the case is. So there wasn't a lot of compromise. I didn't have to make a lot of compromises. I got very, very fortunate. And again, hot button of the day, man. Thankful for everybody who helped out with that. So I want to give a big shout out to the Commensol team too, who sold me one of their frames for extra cheap. They did a really good job of customer service, and one of the guys who works there, shouts out to him. He was really nice, and just was a good dude and hooked me up and made sure I had everything before I started building, so I didn't have to come back and deal with all that. You know how that goes when you're like, man, I got to go back to Home Depot how many times today before I can finally get my toilet to flush again? It's like one of those things, So, but with bikes, somehow that translates. We'll pretend we know how it does. But yeah, man, it was a good time, and I was real thankful for everybody who helped out with that build. I had a lot of friends that stepped in, and we're super stoked to be a part of it because, for them too, they're building bikes, and we're all just part of this cool community locally, and we got this friend group going on where we all ride bikes, we all help each other out, and oh, do you have this part? Yeah, I do. Let me come over, and you can get me a 6-pack of beer, and we'll talk about over, and we'll plan on next trip. Or hey man, I'm missing this, or hey bro, I don't have a bike right now, can I ride yours tomorrow? I was really hoping to go hit this trail, or whatever. So it's been very nice, and it's very fluid relationships of just helping each other out, almost like a commune or something, man. I'm real thankful. So anyways, enough saying that friggin' word. What's in the news? What's going on? Well, bike news for all you guys who actually follow this for bikes. All one of you. Nove Mesto is finally happened. Super stoked. This is the World Championship cross country, so the super pedally guys. And I think the downhill too. I might be mistaken, but the downhill guys might be racing as well. So we got, some B.A. Baracus chicks. I'm telling you, sorry, I shouldn't say chicks. Awesome women riding this race. I tell you right now, I'm more excited for the women's races than I am for the men's for cross country, because they kill it, and also their outfits look off the chain. They do way more colors. The bikes look cool, way cooler than men are all like stealth and black and this, whatever. So, anyways, Evie Richards won yesterday. She did the short track, which sets you up for whatever position you're going to start at for the actual race. So good for her. Shout out to her. She was a U23 champ for a while, just like Kate Courtney, the other girl that I follow religiously. I'm so excited for them to race. But anyways, she races for the Trek team. Big fan of the Enduro Trek team, the Trek bike team. Pedro Burns, Katie Winton. Shouts out to y'all. So yeah, Evie's part of that team. I think Yolanda Neff rides for Trek too. So, anyways, they got all that going on, and yeah, Kate Courtney riding for Scott's Ram. This is the first race of the year since COVID, so they're gonna get it all together. And I think Kate got sixth, and Yolanda got like third or something. I forget what Yolanda. I didn't even see what Yolanda got, but yeah, Evie Richards. She won her first official pro women's race, so I'm excited to see where she ends up because she kicks butt, man. She's awesome. So, anyways, y'all, I'm gonna check out from here. Just tell you guys again, I'm gonna name the podcast this, but be thankful, man. I am so thankful for y'all, and thankful for the people that surround me. Thankful for my fire guys and my teacher friends, and just everything, man. I couldn't be where I am today if not for these people. So, anyways, I'm gonna give it there. Y'all have a great week and good weekend, and good luck as we transition into the fall with the cold and the freezing and the pumpkin spice lattes and the snow on the ground. It's gonna be so nice. They're calling it the winter of the Great Divide. So we'll see if if COVID shows out, we can go do some snowboarding this year. So, anyways, all right, y'all have a good one. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. Peace.